The fork slipped from Daniel's hand the moment she walked into the dining room. It hit the plate with a sharp metallic clink. For a second, nobody spoke. The candlelight flickered across the table, and I watched the color drain from his face like someone had pulled a plug. His eyes jumped from her, to me. I smiled calmly and poured more wine. "Daniel," I said gently, "you remember Emily, right? You're just a colleague." That was the moment his soul left his body. And the funny part? My revenge had already happened weeks ago. Tonight was just the reveal. 3 years ago, Daniel had walked into my life with the kind of charm that makes logic quietly step aside. He was attentive, funny, thoughtful in small ways most men forget. Sunday morning coffee runs, notes tucked into my bag before work. He told me I was the calm in his chaos. I believed him. We built a life that looked solid from the outside. A quiet house, shared routines, future plans spoken casually over dinner. I trusted him the way you trust gravity, completely. Which is why the betrayal didn't arrive like a thunderstorm. It arrived quietly. At first, it was just small shifts. Daniel started guarding his phone like it held nuclear codes. Late meetings appeared out of nowhere. The scent of unfamiliar perfume sometimes clung to his jacket. But suspicion is an ugly emotion. I didn't want it, so I ignored it. Until the night his phone lit up while he was in the shower. One message, just 6 words. "I miss you already. Today was perfect." From someone named Emily W. My stomach didn't twist. It went cold. Daniel came out of the bathroom 10 minutes later to find me exactly where he left me, sitting on the bed, calm, quiet. I asked one question. "Who's Emily?" He didn't even hesitate. "Just a colleague." "Just a colleague." I nodded. And that was the moment I stopped being his wife and started becoming his reckoning. The first rule of revenge is simple. Never react immediately. Emotion makes noise. Planning requires silence. So I played my part. I smiled, I laughed. I kissed him goodbye in the mornings. But behind that smile, I was watching everything. Patterns reveal truth. Daniel's late meetings always happened on Thursdays. His credit card charges showed restaurants 2 towns over. And Emily W., she wasn't hard to find. Social media is a treasure trove for the patient. Emily Walker. Marketing consultant, 28, confident smile. The kind of woman who believed she'd won something special. She had no idea she was just convenient. I studied their timeline like a detective. 4 months. 4 months of lies at my dinner table. 4 months of him looking me in the eye and pretending we were still real. That realization should have broken me. Instead, it sharpened me. Because betrayal doesn't deserve tears. It deserves precision. The next step was simple. Information. Lawyers love information. Turns out Daniel had been careless in more ways than one. His affair wasn't the only thing hidden behind his late nights. There were business deals he never mentioned. Money shifted between accounts. Risky financial moves made without my knowledge. Normally, a spouse might panic. I documented everything. Quietly. Every receipt. Every message. Every transfer. When I finally met with my lawyer, she leaned back in her chair and said something I'll never forget. "You're about to walk away with everything. House, savings, assets," and Daniel wouldn't even see it coming. But revenge isn't just about winning legally. It's about truth. And truth deserves an audience. Which brings us back to dinner. 2 weeks ago, I sent Emily a message. Not angry, not accusatory. Just curious. "Hi, Emily. I'm planning a small dinner and Daniel speaks very highly of you. I'd love for you to come," she replied almost immediately. She had no idea who I was. That was the beauty of it. Tonight, she walked into my home smiling politely. And then she saw Daniel. The confusion on her face was almost innocent. "Daniel?" He looked like someone had just dropped him into ice water. "Emily, what are you doing here?" I leaned back in my chair, calm, observing. "You told me she was your colleague," I said lightly. I thought it would be nice to finally meet her. Emily looked at him, then at me, then back at him again. The pieces were beginning to move. "What's going on?" she asked slowly. Daniel opened his mouth, closed it. The silence stretched, so I helped him. "I'm Daniel's wife." Her face changed instantly. Shock, realization, disgust. She stood up so fast the chair scraped the floor. "You told me you were separated." Daniel's voice cracked. "Emily, Don't!" That single word cut deeper than anything I could have said. She grabbed her purse and walked out without looking back. The door slammed. And suddenly the house felt very quiet. Daniel stared at me like I'd become someone else. What did you do? I slid a folder across the table. Legal documents, divorce papers, asset transfers, bank statements. His entire secret life, neatly organized. His hands trembled as he flipped through them. You've been planning this. I met his eyes calmly. For months. The realization hit him slowly. The affair. The money. The house. Everything slipping through his fingers. His voice dropped to a whisper. You destroyed me. I tilted my head slightly. No. I stood collecting my coat. You did that yourself. I paused at the door. For the first time in months, I felt something light inside my chest. Relief. Freedom. Justice. I glanced back once. Daniel sat alone at the table, surrounded by the wreckage of his own lies. And the strangest part? I didn't feel angry anymore. Because revenge isn't about rage. It's about balance. And tonight, the scales finally settled.